Welcome back to another episode of the A Sports Podcast. My name's Art Hill, my brother Alex.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Alex, big weekend of fights. We got a bunch of really good fights coming up, so let's jump right into it because I don't think we have much time to waste. Josh Taylor taking on Jose Ramirez for the undisputed junior lightweight championship. WBO, WBC champion Jose Ramirez against IBF, WBA, and Ring Magazine champion Josh Taylor. Alex, break it down for us. What'd you think of this fight?
I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think this is a fight that the boxing fans need. This is what boxing is all about. Two undefeated guys looking to be undisputed at 140 pounds.
Now, undisputed, we have not seen since Terrence Crawford was undisputed at 140 a few years ago. Then he vacated all the belts, moved up to 147, which made it possible for Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez to really get to this fight. I mean, usually when there's title fights and unifications, you know, I think Terrence Crawford's unification of the 140-pound division was a little sketchy, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely was.
This fight definitely has a bigger feel to it, a more importance, because both guys really beat some really tough competition for the titles. Talk to me about Josh Taylor. What do you think are some of his keys to victory in this fight?
I think for Josh Taylor, it'll be, I think his boxing ability. I think his hands are very, they're crisp, they're quick, and he's a good boxer all around. I feel like there's not too many things he does bad. And I think also what it was gonna give him like a good amount of confidence is when he fought Regis Prograis.
Yes.
Because Regis Prograis was considered to be one of the hardest hitting guys at 140, and he seemed like he bullied him around in there. So I feel like if there's gonna be keys to victory for Josh Taylor is to know that he could take a punch like that from Regis Prograis and he can bully a guy like that, and use his size to where, you know, if his boxing isn't working, he has something else to go to, and he knows when to do it.
Completely agree. Josh Taylor's coming off, actually, that Regis Prograis fight was the conclusion of that Super 6 tournament in which he beat Ivan Baranchik also for the IBF title. A lot of people criticize Jose Ramirez for not joining that Super 6 championship. He kind of went his own ways. He beat Amir Imam, who was ranked number 1 by the WBC at the time, and then beat Maurice Hooker to unify the titles. Talk to me about Jose Ramirez and some of his advantages that you see.
Yeah, I think for Jose Ramirez, it's as well. I think it's the chin. I think he takes punches very well. Not just that, but I feel like he has the experience on his side to go 12 rounds if it has to, or maybe he feels the gas tank, or he has more confidence in his gas tank.
Okay.
I'm not saying the fight's gonna go 12 rounds, but I'm saying he's gonna fight that type of fight to where he has one gear and it's throw punches and bunches, and I think that really paid off for him against Maurice Hooker.
Yes.
He throws combinations, and I think if you go back and you look at Taylor versus Prograis, he was able to bully Prograis because it looked like Prograis got tired.
Yes.
And
definitely.
it looked like he just didn't have the legs to keep up with Josh Taylor. Mm-hmm. And then once he started Josh Taylor started to lean on him, put his size on him, his height. It seemed like it caused a lot of problems for Prograis. And when he was looking for one shot, it just seemed like Taylor was able to put his combinations together, and that just didn't allow Prograis to how can I say it, like break him down.
Yeah, get some good power behind his shots.
Yeah.
A common opponent that everybody talks about is Victor Postol. Now both guys defeated Victor Postol. Many say Josh Taylor defeated Postol a little easier than Jose Ramirez did. But I think we could throw that Postol fight out the window for both guys because if from Josh Taylor's perspective, Jose Ramirez isn't a big boxer. Postol's a long, lengthy, European style fighter. That's not the type of guy Jose Ramirez is. And same thing on the other side. Josh Taylor's a lefty. Sure, he boxes, but he's a lefty, and that's not the same as the Victor Postol. So I've seen a lot of talk on online on Twitter that the Victor Postol fight is a big indicator of where both guys are, and not really, because they both have different styles than Victor Postol. So it's not like they're actually fighting Victor Postol themselves.
Right.
One thing that I'm really disappointed in, and I didn't know this until you told me earlier, the UK, none of the big UK networks has picked up this fight yet. And that is very disappointing, because this fight, I believe, deserves a bigger publicity. It deserves that big platform. This is for the undisputed title. And I'm not just saying this because, Jose Ramirez works with Robert and we're good friends with Robert Garcia. But, dude, just a fight of this caliber should be, glorified. I'm glad it's on regular ESPN. A lot more eyes are going to be on it. It's pretty much prime time. I believe the main card starts at 5:00. So on 5:00 on a Saturday night, like, other than the UFC fights that we have to talk about later, there's nothing else really to watch that we should have 100% focus on this fight. Prediction?
Yeah, I think Jose Ramirez, and I think he has what it takes to stop him.
Oh, stoppage.
I think he stops Josh Taylor. I think I feel like he's gonna be too much for him, and that's just my gut feeling.
I see the same thing. However, I don't see it as easy.
Definitely
I
not.
think it's going to be a difficult fight where I could see Josh Taylor winning some early rounds with his left-handed style, the wide stance that he uses. Jose Ramirez, I think it's going to take him. Remember, it's a lefty-righty matchup. It's going to take Jose Ramirez a little bit to figure out that Josh Taylor style. Whereas I think Josh Taylor already kind of knows more or less what Jose Ramirez can do. But I think Jose Ramirez is just so effective at his pressure. And one thing that we haven't talked about is the inactivity. Josh Taylor has fought one round in the last 17 months. That's a year and a half where he's only fought one professional round. Mm-hmm. He's been through, this is his second training camp and only fought one round. So, new trainer, one round of experience with his trainer, all of that can add up. So, but still, great fight, exciting fight. Any last thoughts on this fight?
I wanted to touch up on it since you said we are friends with Robert Garcia and all these guys, so obviously we're gonna roll with them. But at least we put it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least we're not like picking or saying that we're going with Jose Ramirez because, like, how some people, they don't say that they know that they know the person. Like, okay, we know them, but like that's why we're gonna ride with them. So who cares? You know what I mean? But
yeah. I feel like we're being fair to Josh Taylor. We know the type of fighter Josh Taylor is. We're not selling him short.
Well, if you would let me finish.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I was about to give my insight on why.
Let me drink my soda so I could be quiet.
Yeah. You do that. Are you done?
Go ahead.
All right. So, what I was saying was I think that Jose Ramirez can stop Josh Taylor because of this. I feel like Jose Ramirez he's a little bit bigger than Regis Prograis. Not just that, but I feel like he throws in combinations. He throws a lot of punches. And I feel like when you look for one shot, it's kind of easier to block that one shot. And then, I feel like Jose Ramirez isn't going to get tired.
No.
And I feel like also Josh Taylor may on the outside maybe his boxing game may be a little bit better on the outside. It could, but I think he's going to try to stand toe to toe with Jose Ramirez. That's what I think it's. Yeah. He's giving me that how can I say, I feel like he's selling that throughout the fight right now because he's going off on Jose Ramirez's manager. He's going off on he actually told Jose Ramirez on the face-off that his head looked like a peanut and that he was going to knock it around. And he said that he didn't look good. He said that he looked drained. That's what Josh Taylor told him. So I feel like they're going to go toe to toe with each other. I don't think this is going to be a boxing, I don't see it where Josh Taylor boxes him for 12 rounds. I just feel like he's he's this Scottish. He's gonna show that he's this Scottish type warrior, and he's gonna try to go out there and freaking do what he did to Regis Prograis. And I think he's gonna get lured into a fight.
And you know what? You brought it up right there at the end. Regis Prograis fight. Everybody thought he was going to be able to box and move around on Prograis. No, he just stood there and really took it. He bullied the bully. You know, Prograis was supposed to be the one backing him down, pressuring him, and Taylor decided to stand in front of him and really take the fight to him, and it worked in his favor. But I agree with you. Against Jose Ramirez, it's going to be a lot more difficult than it was against Regis Prograis. Talking about, you know, some of the things he said, you know, some fighters ooze confidence. You know, Josh Taylor doesn't strike me like a guy that oozes confidence. He strikes me like a guy who's trying to find something. He's trying to pump himself up. He's trying to get some type of fear in Jose Ramirez. You know, you know, you're a big Conor McGregor fan. That's McGregor. You know, that's who he is. He will do it every fight. This isn't who Josh Taylor is. I mean, you know, I've never seen or heard anything like this from Josh Taylor. So that if I'm on the Josh Taylor side, I'm a little concerned by these antics that we haven't seen from Josh Taylor before.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, he's never really been this type of guy, but now he's going after Jose Ramirez's manager. He's telling him all this stuff. It seemed like they were respectful leading up to this week, but it seems like this week it's on now.
Dude, even in the press conference, it's weird. The press conference was so professional. Both guys, you know, praising each other, and then the face-off and everything went
out the window.
Shit. Yeah, which is interesting.
Well, I hope it goes out the window on Saturday night, because I want to see two guys go toe-to-toe. It's a battle of undefeated. Both guys haven't lost. Undefeated for all the marbles. I mean, I hope they stand in the ring and they fight.
Yeah, I think they will. I think
I hope they try to knock each other's chins off, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see it either.
You know why?
Why?
Because this is what boxing needs. Boxing doesn't need these YouTubers, these thriller cards that are ridiculous. No, this is what boxing needs. Two guys that aren't afraid to lose to unify all the belts.
Yep, I completely agree.
And I feel like this doesn't happen enough.
One thing that I will say is that I think this fight was made too easy. And I think that hurt the publicity of the fight.
Think so?
Think about it. All these fights that are not getting made get a bunch of publicity because so-and-so scared of so-and-so, and, you know, they're on the wrong side of the street and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And Fulano doesn't want to fight Sutano and all this crazy stuff. Dude, these guys literally, like, there was like no negotiation news or nothing. Yeah. It was just like, boop, Ramirez versus Taylor is official for May. We don't know the exact date yet. We don't know the venue yet. Oh, boom, it's in May 22nd. Oh, boom, it's at the Virgin Hotel or whatever it's called, the old Hard Rock. So dude, this is an amazing fight. It sucks that the publicity is not there, but hopefully in this last day or two, a UK network picks it up.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I can't believe the UK.
They'd be doing a disservice to boxing.
Yeah, I don't know why the UK isn't getting behind Josh Taylor. Like, I mean, or why aren't they broadcasting this fight? This is what the UK is known for.
Yeah,
being behind their fighters. This is a big boxing event.
Dude, this
is ridiculous.
I would want to speak to somebody in the UK about this. Anybody.
I wouldn't want to speak to anybody that doesn't televise this fight. It's ridiculous.
On the undercard, we have a interesting fight. Chon Cepeda's taking on Hammer Hank Lundy.
That of two guys that haven't been talked about for a while.
Well, Chon Cepeda, I'm a fan of Chon Cepeda. I think he's on the cusp of a title shot. I think when these two gentlemen one of them becomes undisputed champion, I think they will end up moving to 147, and I think the belts will be available for Chon Cepeda to fight for.
Oh, okay.
But dude, Hank Lundy, really? Come on, they couldn't find a better opponent.
Apparently not.
On the undercard, prospect Elvis Rodriguez, Dominican. He's a solid prospect, hot prospect. Jose Vivas taking on Luis Coria. Huge fan of Cody. He's a really good dude.
Yeah.
But he's in tough against Vivas. It's gonna be a great fight right here. Battle of I think Vivas is from Riverside and Cody is I think he's from Riverside too, or one of those little towns around there. So that should be a good fight. Also, got to keep an eye on Raymond Murataya.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's a beast, dude. I was watching him in the gym. I watched him in the gym. That kid can fight. Jose Ramirez. Javier Martinez. Yeah. Those guys will also be on the card. Also on Saturday night, after we watched the undisputed junior welterweight champion be crowned, Cody Garbrandt's taking on Rob Font, UFC Fight Night. Cody Garbrandt's first fight in a very long time since he knocked out a Sun Sao. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, this is a really good fight. I actually like this one.
Very good.
I think there's a lot to ride on this for Cody Garbrandt. I mean, he's in tough against Rob Font. Listen, Cody Garbrandt's had a lot of issues with COVID. Yeah, I guess he got COVID. He ended up with a lot of lingering effects. I guess he had like vertigo after COVID. He had a bicep tear. He had like pneumonia or something that you said. Yeah. I mean, he has been through the ringer.
Yes,
since he got
COVID ringer.
Yeah, since he got COVID. And he's in tough against Rob Font. Listen, I've seen Rob Font fight, and listen, this guy can fight. Mm-hmm. I mean, he put a whooping on Marlon Moraes, and you don't just put a whooping on Marlon Moraes. Like,
Nobody.
He knocked him out. He stopped him, and he hurt him with a jab. That he must hit this hard. So I hope Cody Garbrandt can go out there and pull this win. I hope he goes out there and tries to take him down maybe for the first couple rounds. But here's the thing with Cody Garbrandt. He doesn't do that. He doesn't go for takedowns. He doesn't do this. He likes to stand there and trade.
Okay, but we saw a different Cody Garbrandt in that Sun Sao fight.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah.
He looked a little more calm and poised, but he also didn't take the big punches like he did in those Dillashaw fights.
Right.
You know, and then the Munoz fight. So we'll have to see how he reacts when he gets hit with a big punch.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it would be smart of him to maybe use his wrestling because I feel like he has that advantage over Rob Font. I feel like his ground game could really pay dividends and maybe slow down Rob Font, take a little bit of the wind out of the sails for maybe the third, fourth, fifth round. And because listen, man, this Rob Font dude can crack. And this is also one thing with Cody Garbrandt. Maybe the time off with COVID, maybe that helped him a little bit because, he does get stunned by, not the biggest shots. Like, when he got stopped by by TJ Dillashaw and then Pedro Munoz. And maybe that time off kind of helped his chin recover a little bit.
Believe it or not, that's what the body needs. The body needs to not get hit to recover. Perfect
example, when Chad Mendes fought Frankie Edgar, he got clipped on the nose, like barely got grazed, and he went down and
it was over.
Yeah, and he got stopped by Frankie Edgar. He then got into some trouble, I think, with like some kind of cream or something that he was using. And he was suspended 2 years. And he said that it actually helped him more because he was out. He didn't feel like he got hurt with shots that he usually wouldn't get hurt from.
Yeah.
So he felt like it was just the activity. It was just too much for his body to take.
Yeah. Hey, the time off, your body will do crazy things.
So you got a prediction for this fight?
I don't know, dude. It's a toss-up. I'm going to say Cody Garbrandt because I think his return he's been through the adversity that he needed to go through in order to prosper in this sport. I don't know if Rob Font has yet. So maybe this is a good lesson for Font to, take a step back so he could take those steps forward. Garbrandt was at the top, took a couple steps back, but now it's his time to go forward. So I think the adversity that Garbrandt has gone through will help him in this fight.
Okay.
You?
I mean, sure. Honestly, I'm going to have to go with Rob Font.
Really?
I think Rob Font.
Dude, you're a big Cody Garbrandt
fan. I am a big Cody Garbrandt fan, but let me tell you, I don't know. Here's the thing with Cody Garbrandt. You just don't know what Cody Garbrandt you're going to get sometimes.
That's true.
I feel like if he could mix it all up, I would like for him to mix it all up, especially in a fight like this. I just, to me, it's like, who's going to land first? And listen, like Rob Font he can really crack. And something's telling me, I don't know what it is, but it's telling me that if Cody Garbrandt does not mix it up the way I feel he should, I mean, we may just see the Cody Garbrandt that wants to stand with this guy, and he may get himself into some trouble. Who knows? Now,
this fight is at bantamweight. This is 135, right?
Right.
135. And there have been talks of Cody Garbrandt going down to 125 to fight either Figueiredo or Brandon Moreno, right. Depending who comes out of the winner in that rematch. So, but this is a 3 versus 4 fight at bantamweight. I mean, this fight should set up a title fight for the winner.
This is a 50-50 fight from what I'm seeing. I mean, on all odds, it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, so, it's a toss-up.
I mean, I do want Cody Garbrandt to come out on top in this fight, but it just, I mean, with this whole COVID thing that went on, I mean, he's really, bicep tear, blood clots, can he come back from this?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Guys haven't been the same. If you look back, Gilbert Burns, when he got knocked out by Kamaru Usman, he didn't look like the same Gilbert Burns after he had COVID. But then again, it could have just been Kamaru Usman just was an animal and he knocked him out.
True.
You know what I mean? So who else had COVID and didn't look too good? Remember that boxer? Yeah, Povetkin. He had COVID, didn't look too good. We have yet to see how Alexander Volkanovski is going to look from, his battle with COVID. And
dude, Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics, basketball player, has to use an inhaler.
Yeah,
he has to use an inhaler post-COVID. So, I mean, like you said, we don't know how Cody Garbrandt will return from. And it wasn't just COVID, like the bicep tear and all that stuff. Like, dude, all those injuries accumulate. But then again, the time off could have been good for him too.
Yeah.
On the undercard, Yan Xiaonan is taking on Carlos Esparza. Also a 3 versus 4 fight at the strawweight division. Some heavyweights, Justin Tafa. Huge fan of that guy. That guy can crack. And then a fight that I'm really interested in is Jack Hermansson against Edmund Shahbazian.
Oh, yeah.
Any comments on any of these undercard fights?
No, I mean, I hope Edmund Shahbazian could come out with a win because I do know he got derailed a little bit by Derek Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's able to get back in the win column and just come out on top because there was a lot of talks about that guy before he lost to Derek Brunson.
Then again, not everybody wrestles like Derek Brunson, so
I know
Brunson can pin you down if he wants to, and you're not getting back up. Ben Rothwell's on the undercard also. I don't see anybody else that we really need to bring up. Do you?
Not really.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoy this weekend of fights. Make sure you guys check back with us next week for our recap. Yeah, we're really excited to watch the undisputed junior welterweight champion to be crowned.
Same here, man. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the A Sports Podcast. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Peace out, guys.